Hello there, this is John again. Thanks for tuning in. This is going to be part 2 of a ride-along video. The first one I started ended up with a lot of me just chatting about motorcycle things, being stuck at red lights, which is actually really good practice for getting your foot down, you know, operating your controls, because the most stuff you do is from stop to go and from go to stop. The most important stuff you do is probably how you maneuver the bike when it's going, the things you think about, the things you do for your safety, because falling at 0 miles per hour is much less dangerous than falling at speed, as you might be able to understand. So we're out of the main city of Newark. We're going to do some long distance riding now. So with that being said, let's get going, and let's just say, dear Lord, thank you for being with us everywhere we go and being a good shepherd. Lord, help me to stay upright, and God, just bless the other people we're going to encounter on the road and the folks that are watching. Pray that this time would be a good, safe, and enjoyable time experiencing this joyous thing that we've come to know as life. And here we go. Alright folks, here we are. We are avoiding manholes. We're swerving around the ditches here. This road, for some reason, has like the worst potholes, but here we go. This is a ride along. What I'm going to do is just kind of talk through my ride with you. You can enjoy some Delaware scenery. This car's turning left, so I stayed here in this right position. Check my mirrors. Always good to know what's going on. Be observant of speed limit signs. We're rolling through an intersection here. There's a big, huge truck blocking my vision. And you gotta be aware of stuff like that, because the things that come out of nowhere are the things that get you. So that intersection had the added risk, not only of just being an intersection, but having that truck blocking a lot of my visibility. And we have an interesting situation here behind that truck, because that car is absolutely just jacked up. Sorry to whoever was involved in that situation, but when you're observant, you'll see things like that, and while it's really, really unlikely, being behind a car like that, or a truck with a lot of things strapped on the back, is just absolutely not ideal, because stuff can pop out of it. And your car, or your truck, or whatever you drive, has a really good ability of navigating stuff like that, hopping over a 2x4 or what kind of obstacle you have, but your bike does not. And just something like a rock, you know, something like a tire can absolutely wreck your day. Alright, so I'm going to counter steer here. I got to push this bike to the right with my hand, and that's where it goes. Hearing a little bit of wind noise, but I think the audio should hopefully be pretty good here at like 55 miles per hour. Alright, a long bend. I'm just gonna stay like middle. I don't have to hit the apex just right. When you're doing a really tight turn, that's important, but I'm aiming this video at you, and I'm hoping that if you're watching this, that you're a beginner, or you're thinking about being a beginner, and you just want to understand what it's like to ride. There's so much information to navigate, and my encouragement to you would be to not try to learn everything before you start riding. You need somebody who can help you with the stage that you're at, and that's what I'm trying to do with this video, and that's what I can do as a beginner. I bought this bike when it had 7,700 miles on it. So you can see right there, I'm at about 1,300 miles on the bike, and they've all been good. Well, yeah, for the most part. More on that to come, maybe when I get more subscribers. So hey, if you haven't, like, comment, subscribe, and you'll learn more about John. My ability to overshare will increase as I get more followers. Yeah, so this is just a gentle bend, and you know, people talk about what's the perfect lane position. There really isn't one. This one's fine, I'm in the second lane position. This one's fine, I'm an outside.
and this one's fine. I'm on the left. What you should be able to do is stay in any one lane position. If you can't really control your bike and you're kind of going all over the lane, you're not ready for the road. And you got to be able to do that at multiple speeds, because doing a swerve, there's nobody behind me to really freak out or anything, but doing a swerve like this at 50 miles per hour is a whole lot different than doing it at 30 or 20 or 70. But it is obviously a really important skill to know how to maneuver your bike like that. So I'm going to walk you through that swerve. It's something I practice a lot as I'm on my bike. Obey these signs. Motorcycle safety is like, I mean, it's like 5 or 10% gear and the kind of bike you have. The other 90 to 95, it's your brain and it's your eyes. Oh, I just did this thing where I pointed at my helmet, but you couldn't see me. But like, it's your brain and it's your eyes. Yeah, it's your eyes. It's seriously, it's everything. Like your ability to know how to ride, and then the decision making that you do, the critical decisions that you make on the bike. Man, it's going to keep you alive. It's going to help you enjoy the ride. Let me drop some knowledge for you as we see these cows here on the right. This is John's words of wisdom for the day, my little mantra. That is beautiful. I hope you can recognize beautiful things when you see them, because that's pretty crucial. What do we got here? A little yard sale action. I might pick up a Lazy Boy recliner, throw it on the back of my 300cc bike, and ride that home. That was sarcasm. So, oh my goodness, they give you that big rollout, that big intro. Man, I'm so absent-minded. Not absent-minded, but just easily distracted. John's words of wisdom. The most important motorcycle ride that you're going to go on is the next one. The most important motorcycle you ride that you're going to go on is the next one. It's tomorrow, it's next week. It is not the one you're on right now. No matter what, no matter how big it is, if you plan some big motorcycle vacation, or if you are doing a track day, or it's like your third track day and you finally you got this new setup, everything's fine. Like, that is not the most important motorcycle ride you're going to go on. Because if you have that mindset and you're so caught up in the moment like we can tend to be, you just end up making poor judgments and doing things that, future you would tell you, hey, that was a bad idea. I just downshifted down to third just for this turn, and I was cruising in sixth at fourth, and I was cruising in sixth gear at 40 miles per hour, which just wasn't totally ideal. This bike really likes to be in this higher rev range where you can control it a little more. To be able to decelerate in turns and accelerate in turns is pretty important. Follow the signage, know what speed you're going, understand what traffic patterns are happening. So I'm obviously approaching a town now, so I'm being a little more observant. His brake lights are on. So let's take this down a gear and just engine brake here. I don't think I have to yield to this guy, and I'm not going to. I'm going to roll through here. That was a nice little corner. I got a decent amount of lean angle there, and you can't be afraid of it. You just have to get used to doing those kind of turns or corners. Following him, push left, roll through, and relax. It is a push. If you don't believe in counter steering, it 100% is a thing. I could show you here. Well, I'm just gonna keep my hand on the throttle, but I am pushing right. And there you can see I am taking a little bit more of a path of outside, inside, outside, just to smooth out that corner for myself and reduce the lean angle. Here we got another one, and again, this one is going to be fine. I'm going to do this corner all wrong. I'm going to ride the inside the whole way. And you know what? It's totally fine. The bike behaves very much the same, and you just don't need to focus on the pathway you take into a corner until you're trying to be a really great rider. You're going to look up on YouTube, how do I corner? And you're going to see this video of a guy telling you about outside, inside, outside, and all these other things, and then putting and then he's going to put exceptions on it, like for safety and all those things. Like, my encouragement to you would be to put safety first. That's the first thing when you're cornering, when you're riding. It's safety first, because the most important motorcycle ride is the next one. You don't want to wreck today because you want to be able to ride tomorrow. So what am I doing today to make sure that next ride is going to be good? How am I growing into being a better rider? How am I learning and equipping myself? There's dust here on this road with those rocks. Always look for little hints about when you're going to lose traction, because losing traction is not a good time. I'm going to stay rolling in this gear, and I'm not going to decelerate. I'm just going to look to my right and push a little to the right. You can see I'm leaned over, and that lean takes me through the turn. As I talk through the stuff, if anything's really confusing, it needs to be clarified, just hit me up in a comment and let me know, and then I'll gladly answer you if I can. You might have to comment twice if I miss it. Sorry. But I do aim to be around and be doing this, because, you know, everybody has their reasons for doing what they do, and that's important, because if you kind of don't understand what makes somebody tick, you might think, oh, well, if I were doing what that person was doing, I would do it for this reason, so that person must be doing it for that reason. And that's actually pretty faulty logic, because it assumes that we're all the same. And what you're going to learn as you go through life, and what I continue to learn every day, is that, man, people are so interesting. We're all so different, and it's exciting getting to know new people. And when God puts certain people in your life and you have the opportunity to love them, and it's not easy, man, take advantage of that opportunity. Let me say that again. It sounded really wise. I'm going to put the eye shield up. Look at me. Look at my eyes. If God puts somebody in your life that's difficult to love, that's a blessing. Love them. Because when you do that, God might change you, and you might grow a little bit. And it's funny, man, like the issues I had with my college roommates, the issues we had about the way things went in the apartment, how we treated one another, I had those same exact fights with my wife when we moved in. It's so funny. And I didn't have the mindset then. I was just like, all right, well, whatever, guys. Like, I'm not going to give in on this fight. I'm not going to try to work through it with you. Where we pretty much get along, and hey, we're still friends to this day. So, but my attitude was like, I'm not going to change, you change. And then it's funny, because you get married, and then, oh, well, maybe if I changed back then, it would have been better for everybody, and I definitely need to change now, because while I had a 1-year agreement with those roommates, I have a lifetime agreement with the wife, so trying to make good on that. And that was just a long little tangent there. I think it was a nice one. But that tangent was just to say that people have different reasons for riding and motovlogging and loading content to YouTube. But one thing that's super important to me, stop sign coming up. One thing that's super important to me is just like connecting with people, you know. I have this sense that we're here in life for one another. Four-way stops frustrate me, because you should just keep track of who was there before you, and then let everybody go, and then you go. I'm pretty sure that guy beat me, but anyway. What were we talking about? This is hard. Oh, why I Motovlog? Yeah, I'm here for you. Listen, like, I know folks have this sense of entertainment that, that what my job as a content creator should be. Car coming to my right. Very good. What my job as a content creator should be to seek out or create the kind of content that is going to be the most entertaining, that people are going to soak up and love, and it's going to get the most amount of views, so I get the most amount of followers, so I get ad revenue, so I can quit my day job. Like, man, I got to tell you, that sounds sweet and that sounds awesome, but I am fully aware of just how unattainable that is, how difficult that is. So if that ever were to happen, I just not. Like, even my target audience, who is, I'll find with time, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be like dads like me, or just folks who are interested in learning how to ride, or people that share some of my views, that like the way I talk about certain things. It's going to be scattered, and it's going to be so small of an audience that it just doesn't. It makes sense for me to not expect that to ever happen. So why do I continue to make content anyway? Oh, the motorcycle wave. We'll see if this cruiser bro gives me a wave. Give the head nod. I appreciate that. I guess this is a right turn. Oh, that's 896 North. I think that's what I wanted to do. How are we going to do this here? We'll just do it semi-legally. Oh, this is legal. Just hopping into a school parking lot. U-turn here. Slow it down. Drag the right rear brake. So it still takes me like 3 full lanes to do a U-turn. And it's something I'm working on. But it's not something I'm super urgent on doing. But like I said, we're working on that. We're working on that next ride, right? How are we going to get that right? How's that going to be better? Gravel's here in the road. Let's just not push it. Nice and easy. Gravel and a more than 90-degree turns. That's how I decided to handle it. Slow way down. Take it on up. Nice little clearing here. As you get to know me, you might realize I'm a little bit of a sappy guy. Not too much, but cornering is really satisfying when you do it well. Just yeah, the feeling of pulling out of a corner is really great. That truck will have an effect on the wind around my bike and can push and pull me. So that was the thing I was most focused on in that corner. This car is turning. Let's slow it down a little bit for him. And he should be good. All right. So, working on U-turns, working on other things. What are you doing for your next ride that's going to be good? These are the things I think about. They're good to think about. Cruising through. Okay. Crosswalk here for a railroad. I'm just going to hop out of the saddle a little bit, stand up on my pegs, and that one definitely would have hurt the underside of John had I not done that. 20 miles per hour, is it? 20 miles per hour it says on this turn. I'll downshift here, and let's see if we can swing through around 40 at this speed. Oh, I can do it, yeah. Feels good. So my plan right now is to get lunch. So I know there's food in the direction that I'm going, but I'm probably just gonna kind of pick the first place I see. So we'll see what I can find. I have the day off today, And this is kind of like a mental health break for me, just pulling away from work and family and everything, and just, I got to change my oil today, and I'm just doing the things that I want to do, sharing some time with you. I hope that it is enjoyable for you as well. Alright, 6th gear, let's downshift to 5th, now that I see that stop coming up. Well, I'm up here by Lincoln University, down to 4th, down to 3rd, 2nd, and here we go, 4-way stop. That guy's here before me, and now it's me. Oh, look at that. Oh gosh, it smells like poo-poo because it is poo-poo. But you don't have smell-o-vision, so you can enjoy the beautiful farm country scenery without me. See, look at me. I'm bearing the burdens for my people. Look at that. Smelling the smells so you don't have to. Riding with John. Subscribe today. Alright, I'm in 6th gear now. Back to cruising. I actually, because I was being silly, looking around, looking at the other things, I didn't see that car in front of me was slowing down, but because I had enough space, and honestly I wasn't even close to anything, but downshift to 5th, because of the space I left, we were good. I had limited visibility coming over that hill, so I just wanted to be a little careful, but it ended up being fine. And I'm feeling some wind on me. Wind is just a part of riding. You'll feel it, especially at higher speeds. It's going to have a bigger effect. Oh man, that's gorgeous. It's kind of stuff you stop and take a picture of with your bike, but we'll not do that now. If you leave enough space, a lot of good things happen. Space is one of the most important concepts, I think. I forget oh, there's a deer right there. Gorgeous. I forget the name of the video I was watching, but it was a guy talking about riding safely, sort of like what I'm doing now. And I swear he said the word space like 50 times, but it's just so true. Like, how is that truck that's in front of me, that white truck right there, how is that truck gonna hurt me? Like, it has no ability to hurt me. If it slams on its brakes, if it turns, if it topples and rolls, I got plenty of space to brake. And what I can do now, see, this is like maybe a maturity thing, but there's nobody behind me, and there's cars in front of me. So what can I do? I can have a really hurried, frantic, stressful ride, riding that guy's bumper, or I can just hang out back here, and it's just nice and easy. I prefer nice and easy. Sometimes you're in a hurry, and you got to drive, more aggressively and more quickly, but I think it's a skill we're losing and lacking. This is the ability to know when you're not in a rush. And he's got dual tailpipes, and he's going to blow a lot of hot air back at me, so I'm just going to give him a little bit more room. Starting on a hill is not too crazy. My ride is drifting back a little bit. I'll let these guys go. You can see if I let go of the brake that my bike starts to go backwards. And it's just all about using the friction zone, because once you know your bike well, and if you understand the manual transmission well enough, you'll know that you can basically keep the bike standing still or moving slowly backwards or slowly forwards with the engine, with the clutch, and you also won't be stalling out the bike. So on a hill, it's important to get that. The other thing you can utilize, because your right hand, it's very hard to do the brake and the throttle at the same time, unless you're like spinning out your tire, which whatever. The other thing you can utilize is your rear brake with your right foot. Oh, look at this, man. Isn't this nice that we get to be on this ride together? Just you and I. there's nobody here but you and I. Isn't that nice? People talk about motorcycling as a sense of freedom, and man, it's just so true. And it feels good. Now, the temptation might be to take that freedom and always crave it and always want it, and to kind of have a negative attitude about the times when you don't have a sense of that freedom, when you're elsewhere in life. But I think it would be better to just use this as like your escape and your getaway, so that when you're back into those places where you don't feel that freedom, where you have obligations, where other people have authority over you, where something else that makes it three things, you're going to be your best self there, because you're coming from a place where you've been refreshed. Intersection, and we're good. And you're just bringing a better version of yourself to those places. Hey guys, eat more Chick-fil-A, please. So this ride is a nice one, and I guess I don't know if I'm gonna make it all the way up to Lancaster. Oh, there's poop in the road. Yuck. You know what? Maybe just for like safety's sake, maybe I don't want to do this. I think what I'll do is I'll probably come to a stop at some place that seems convenient and try to figure out where I'm going to eat. The poop in the road. All right. Well, I'm going downhill. What's interesting is it's getting colder as I come down here. All right, this guy's got his brake lights on. 1-lane bridge. Riding on poop. Ugh, gross. Oh, it's gorgeous. Nice little bend here. Start outside. Don't find my apex because that puts my face in that truck. And then keep rolling out. And now we're rolling out of this little creek valley. Yeah, so this is gorgeous hill country. The poop on the road doesn't give me a lot of confidence or joy. But otherwise, it was a nice ride. If you guys have a question about a specific topic, hey, just let me know. Riding through the woods here, you just gotta watch out because there's always like animals that can jump out with you. The animals can jump out anytime, right? But when there's trees, they blind you to what's outside of the road. So just watch out for that. Watch out for debris and sticks and leaves in the road. But for the most part, you're fine. Just always be vigilant. Whoa, that was a heck of a pothole. Look at the view here. Beautiful. Alright folks, what is 12:20? At this point in my ride, I am hungry and it is lunchtime. So what I think I'm going to do is find a nice place to stop and grab a bite to eat. But thanks for joining me. And I don't know what to say for an outro. Maybe I'll sing you a little song. I'll do that. Hey, thanks. You've been riding with John, and I'll see you on the next one. Take me to lunch, Pennsylvania roads, to a place that has food, fast casual restaurant, getting full with a Coca-Cola, fountain drink on ice. Yeehaw!